Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Evelyn. Welcome to my channel. I have a guest here today. Her name is Daisy Neely-Cotton, and we're here to discuss unjustifiable incarceration in South Carolina. Daisy, introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Daisy Mae Neely-Cotton. I was born in Rock Hill, South Carolina. I left to join the military, United States Army, 1983. I retired in 2004, and we decided to reside back in Rock Hill, South Carolina. I have 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. My daughter, she's 41 years old, and she retired from the military as well, and she works for the federal government. My stepson, he's 38 years old. He's out in Dallas, Texas, driving trucks. And the young man, Tyrell Neely, that we're speaking the other day, he's 32 years old now. He went to Limestone College, and in his second year at college, he was diagnosed with his disorder.
Daisy, what kind of disorder was Tyrell diagnosed with?
2013, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia with bipolar affective. And also he has narcolepsy, which is a sleeping disorder. And with those 2 different disorders, it's very hard to get a balance on the medication that he takes.
Okay, where's Tyrell today?
Tyrell is incarcerated in the Mouth Justice Center. I wanted to tell you a little bit more about Tyrell. Tyrell, 4 or 5 years old when we moved to Rock Hill. Tyrell has met all his milestones. He went to South Point High School. He was an Eagle Scout. He was on the choir. He also was a state champion for South Point, the first state champion at South Point. And when he went to college, he was in the first chair for the band. And also he got a state championship in wrestling. I believe Tyrell has met all the milestones. And in 2013, he got diagnosed with his disorder. Tyrell got sent to jail February 2019. And the reason why he was sent to the Moss Justice Center in 2019, my husband, we had moved to Columbia, and we decided that we wanted Tyrell closer to us in Columbia. He stayed in his own home from 2013 to 2019 with his diagnosis, and he worked full time every day. On this one particular night, we decided to pack up all the stuff because we said we was going to move on the 18th, and it was the 17th. And I decided that I wanted to get a cup of coffee from my sister before we went back to Columbia, leave the truck, and come back tomorrow and finish up the 2019. I said he was tired, and he wanted to go home and lay down for a minute because we had the mattress on the wall. So that's what he did, and I drank the cup of coffee. And the young lady decided to say that he tried to rape her. No penetration, no nothing. And we didn't even know she was going to still
One
be there.
moment, please, Daisy. Excuse
Yes.
me, Daisy. What young lady? What was the situation with this young lady?
Okay. The young lady asked me in November 2018, she asked Tyrell and I, could she stay at his home because she was homeless. She had 2 kids. And the young man that was her boyfriend at the time, she was 31, he was 25. He was friends with my stepdad. His dad and my stepdad were best friends. So I told him it'll be okay until they find something else to live. And I also told him that please pay him $300. So he stayed there with her 2 kids and her boyfriend until it was time for me to move. And I let her know that we were moving on which date. That night, H broke loose. I don't know what happened. I still don't know. It was his word against hers. And they decided to go with her word. And that's what happened. And also the reason
When is
why.
the
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
You can go ahead. Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am. The reason also, when I took him up there to see the investigator, I took him that morning because he had a mental health appointment in Rock Hill. The investigator, he said, come on in. I said, okay, I'm going in with him. The investigator, he pushed me out of the door at the city jail and squeezed my son on in the door because, I'm his representative, and I would have said, we need a lawyer. But they told him if he tell them something, he could go home that night. So then they changed their mind, and he running around the jail place. And then we finally got it taken care of. We got a lawyer. I hired the lawyer, and they had a prosecutor. And we won the case because she said Tyrell is incompetent to stand trial. So we got the case won, and the young lady, the prosecutor, she was very upset, I guess, with the public defender, with the defender lawyer. So she just took it upon herself to just not like him, not like me, not like anything. And
Excuse
since
me, that probably was
2019,
the defense,
yes,
the defense attorney, the one that you hired. I'm not an attorney, but I have a
right.
little bit of knowledge of how court goes. It was your defense attorney.
That won the
Okay.
case. Yes. And the prosecutor was got upset, I guess. So since 2019, she's been like bothering us, harassing us. He got out. She called the South Carolina State and told them she think he's a sex predator. So she wanted to get all these tests done. So Tyrell got rearrested in Rock Hill after all of that in 2021. The reason why he got arrested in 2021, after we thought all this was over, he borrowed his friend's car without permission. So I thought since he borrowed the car, he would get a bond and it'd be over with and he coming home. No, the same prosecutor called the South Carolina State and said she wanted him to take two tests for a prosecutor. He took the test for a predator, sexual predator. He took the two tests, 2021 and 2022. He passed both tests. Meanwhile, since 2021, Tyrell has been locked up with no charges, no bond, no nothing. And long as South Carolina want to keep them, they informed me that they could keep him. So he's been up there with the charges of rape, even though that was over with. He can't have any visitors. He has no commissary. He's in a room, a solitary confinement for 24, and every now and then he gets to call me since 2021. And it's 2026 now. And if the case was turned over to South Carolina advocates, and they decided that they wanted to take the case because the public defender that we had, she just know they was harassing him and nothing she could do about it. So she took it to South Carolina herself. Without her, that case would have cost me $15,000. So the two lawyers got the case. They visited Tyrell. They informed him that the Supreme Court said that test has been thrown out. They wanted him to take a penis test. You look at pictures of, I guess, people making love, holding hands, what have you, and if you stimulate, that means you're a sexual predator. So they did decide, just like us, if we look at something, we might penetrate, get stimulated that day. So the Supreme Court of South Carolina threw that test out. Now we're waiting for South Carolina to start over again. Because every time he wins, they'll start, well, we want to do another test. Well, we want to do another test. So we're waiting to see about can they do another test and let this be over with. So I'm waiting on them to call me this month and let me know, can my son come home? So that's all we're waiting for South Carolina State to release him. And I won't call the Attorney General's name, but everybody knows the South Carolina Attorney General in South Carolina.
It sounds like something's very wrong in this situation.
It is.
If Tyrell has not had criminal charges,
None.
he's not been prosecuted of criminal charges, why is he still locked up in South Carolina?
Because the prosecutor says that he's got to take all these tests, and she knows all these tests take a long time. So her and the young lady that accused him of that said that they want my son to rot in jail. So I guess they found a way to have him rot in jail because it's been a total of 7 years total that he's been in jail. And I know there's people that murder people, they get 15 years and they home in 7 years. My son has served time for all those people and he has done nothing. And he don't understand because he's schizophrenic. He don't even understand why they doing this to him.
There's something very wrong in this situation.
South
And
Carolina.
in my opinion, the system is being ran, it seems to be being ran by certain individuals.
That's correct. That's one individual up there at the Moss Justice Center, and she don't even work there, y'all. She haven't worked there in 3 years, and she won't let my son case go. They told her to let it go in 2019, 2020 when she started working at family court. She works at family court since 2020, and she won't let my son's case go.
Wow. If that individual is in family court, oh my, that's all I have to say.
My.
But this seems very strange. It just seems like it's unreal, but situations like this can happen.
In South Carolina. If we had been in Columbia, South Carolina, this whole thing have been wiped out because my son got in trouble down there. The young lady said it's dropped because you got schizophrenia and bipolar. You really don't know what you're doing. And it wasn't that serious, she said. We went to the court. It wasn't that serious because they really don't know. And long as they have their medication that works, he's all right. Tyrell has worked since 2013. He's worked full time until he got arrested in 2021. He worked for the Goodwill. He worked for Shutterfly. He worked for Ross. He worked for Goodyear a year and a half after they say he was a sexual predator. He worked with 10 women ready to go talk to the judge, and they wouldn't allow. They wouldn't allow him to talk to the judge. I hadn't been allowed to talk to the judge either. I tried to get in there, won't nobody take me in there. Even these lawyers that I have now, they say they can't take me to talk to the judge because I just feel like somebody's doing something wrong. This case has
This
set
doesn't
down.
sound right. With your son being incompetent to stand trial,
I'm his
you
guardian.
are his mother.
Yes, I got the power of attorney and everything. I had to send it to South Carolina State, and I wasn't allowed to speak on my son's behalf because, like you said, there's no charges. There's nothing. But I still want to see the judge. The judge retired of 2019 to 2021. That judge retired. They asked him, did he want to let Tyrell come home? He said, no, I'm not dealing with that. I'm just going to leave that like it is. So we started over with a new judge, 2021, and he could have just dropped it all that day, but he's the prosecutor's friend.
So because you had to start over with a new judge, does that mean new lawyer, more money? What does
They
that
want me to
mean?
hire a lawyer. I'm gonna tell you about these lawyers. I wrote Washington. I wrote Ralph Norman. What's her name? God. I wrote what's his name? Crump. That Crump that
Just
takes
say
all the
you've
cases.
written just say you've written several people. Don't really
Several,
say the people's
several.
names.
Okay, I've written
You've written
several lawyers
several people about what?
about Tyrell's situation, the whole 9 yards. A few of them had told me he has a case to sue the whole state of South Carolina, but since they're not in his jurisdiction, that they couldn't take the case. But it was a whole lot. I'm saying he has a case, but until I get him out of there, because they'll harass him again, and the statute of limitations is still going since 2019 because they keep holding him for that same mess. Soon as he get out of there, we're gonna find a way to get a lawyer and get this taken care of. But until he comes home, I don't want to ruff any feathers. This case has
Well,
taken me.
you had to eventually come out with your story because you've
Yeah,
stated that is it in the appellate court now,
yeah,
the South Carolina Court of Appeals?
that's
What's the
correct.
status on that?
The
What's
two
the
lawyers
status
that
on that?
Yeah, the two lawyers that he have, they went to visit him since no one's come visit him in years. So the two lawyers went to visit him finally, and they told him that they're working on his case just to get that penis test throughout. That's all their job is. They're not like the lawyer that supposed to represent him, and so he's hanging. And then the person that I've been talking to, he's over the deputy of the prosecutor of the defendants up there, and he say his hands is tired. There's
Public.
nothing he can do. No, no, defender. He's
Okay.
attorney over Tyrell, public defender. I mean, and he said he's a deputy over. There's nothing he can do. He done tried it. He's so frustrated that they won't let him come home. He cried with me over Christmas. I called him right before Christmas thinking my son's coming home. And he cried with me because he know his hands are tired. It was the judge and there's one prosecutor that won't let him go. She just so angry. And we don't even know why. Nobody knows why she won't let him go. The other lady, she quit. She quit being Tyrell's public defender because she's like, this ain't even make no sense. Why can't he come home? Why are you holding him? He's the sweetest little boy. They say he's the sweetest young man you ever want to meet. And I know you know because you met him. And they up there like, we don't know what's going on. They really, all them lawyers up there have sympathy for me. I can't say that, except for that one that works at the family court now. But I did want to tell you this situation because the way I raise my kids and the way my kids are, they very productive members of society like I am. Praise God, I've never been in jail and none of my kids have until this situation. Tyrell, it just ain't something that's normal in my family. So when it finally happened, it took me, I got sick. I got real sick. I got real sick. And then I had to mourn my son. Then I cursed God, and I went back and I had to let that go. And you being a minister, I know you understand. And then I was broken. My heart was just broken. I
I'm an
mean,
advocate. Thank you for that. Thank you for that title, but that may be something that I don't know about. But go ahead, Daisy.
it's gonna happen though. It's gonna happen. So I felt broken, and I mean for the last since 2019, I really can't find myself. I'm trying to live. I'm trying to do right, but some days I just cry. I just cry because I don't know what else to do. I don't know. I can't fight. There's nobody to fight. And then you can't go see the judge because they're going to put you in jail if you're going to try to talk to the judge. I tried that too. I tried to write the judge. They almost put me in jail. They said, I didn't know because I don't have no
I
criminal.
think that's called
Right.
ex parte communication. So you
Right.
can't communicate with the judge. See, I
That's
learned
what
that from my case, even though I'm not an attorney, but I don't know what you're supposed to do. And I have empathy for you. I'm concerned about your child. And you have not seen your child since when?
I haven't seen Tyrell since 2021. He
It's
got arrested.
2026.
Yeah, not can't see him, and he can't see other people. Solitary confinement as a schizophrenic person, that makes them worse.
This
They
is
know what they're doing. That person knows what she's doing. But
believable.
they don't understand that
This is
it's gonna
very
come back.
believable. This is
Yeah,
very believable, but it's unbelievable.
it's very unbelievable.
With no criminal charges. And whoever can hear this, either on YouTube or on Advocacy Radio, this is a mother that is without her disabled son since 2021. If you can help Daisy Cotton, reach out to us. People need to start being proactive instead of reactive. The young man he's locked up right now and she can't see her son. I can't imagine if there's anyone out there that can help this mother that has been suffering so many years, please contact me, Dr. Evelyn. My website is evelyntheadvocate.org, and I will forward the information to Daisy Neely-Cotton. Daisy Neely-Cotton and Tyrell Neely, they need help. There's a lot of unanswered questions, and we're here in the state of South Carolina where one or two people are running the whole system and there's no one to go to. This is not right. We need to be proactive instead of reactive. Daisy Neely-Cotton has stated that she really doesn't know how her son is actually doing because she has not seen him since 2021. I can't imagine. Daisy, what would you like to happen?
I would like for them to release my son and send him home. We got him. Once he get home, he was productive before he went. So after he gets home, he gets back on a good medication that works for him because I know what it is. And just bring him home and let his family love on him and live out the rest of his life in peace.
What's your opinion on a prosecutor, the person that contributed to your son being incarcerated without criminal charges?
Her personally, I feel that she has violated his civil rights, his disability rights, and she also has violated due process. He has had no due process at all. Just pick, 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 pick. And I just feel like that prosecutor should be barred. I broke the bar down in Columbia. I feel like she should be barred. But like I say, everything I write them, they say she's all right, good to go. So they're not on my side.
Well, audience, you heard it from Daisy Neely-Cotton. Her son is a disabled individual that is not competent to stand trial. He's locked up in a South Carolina jail. He's mentally incompetent, and she has not seen him since 2021. It's Daisy's son today, but it may be your son tomorrow. As I requested earlier, if you can help Daisy and Tyrell, contact me, Dr. Evelyn Hemphill, on my website. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.